Hey guys, it's Michael from Devoted to Vinyl, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 4 mistakes to avoid when it comes to selling your vinyl records online. Now, over the past few weeks, I've made a handful of videos that have sort of worked as a bit of a warning for people that are brand new to the vinyl hobby. Now, in these videos, which I'll link below in the description if you haven't seen them and you want to check them out, I talked about mistakes to avoid when it comes to collecting your vinyl records, playing your albums, and also buying your very first turntable. But today, I wanted to carry this conversation over into the realm of selling vinyl records. Because whether you want to clear out some space in your room or you just want to thin out your collection, there often comes a time for a lot of record collectors when you look around at your collection and you sort of realize, I don't need all these records. How did I get so many records? So if you're planning on selling any records on eBay or Discogs in the near future, I'm going to give you my top 4 things to avoid when it comes to selling your vinyl records. Number one. Okay, so here is number 1. Avoid poorly packaging the records that you just sold and are now sending off to your customers. Now, it's always an exciting time when you buy a brand new album on vinyl. You've paid the money, you just got the shipping notice, and waiting for your favorite album to arrive is almost like waiting for Santa Claus. And then the package arrives at your doorstep, and you open it up, and you find out that the album jacket and the record is damaged because of poor packaging. Son of a Oh, who doesn't like a blooper reel of cuss words? Now, obviously, we can't prevent bad things from happening, but we can definitely take certain precautions to lessen the likelihood that they'll occur. Now, when you ship vinyl records in the mail, you should ship them inside of record mailing boxes. On top of that, you should also consider putting record mailing insert pads, which are also made out of cardboard, on each side of the record as well. Doing this will ensure that the records that you send to your customers will have extra layers of protection and have a higher likelihood of arriving safely and intact. It's also important to know that you can buy record mailing boxes and record mailing insert pads very easily in bulk online. Now, as somebody who buys quite a few records online, I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that you properly package your records. Years ago, I purchased a handful of records online from a seller, and when I got the package in the mail, I realized he had sent the records inside of a pizza box. Dude, for real? Do better. Anytime you have a lot of space inside of your packaging, where your records have the opportunity to bounce all around inside of the box, you have a higher likelihood of sending records to a customer that are going to come damaged. So make sure you sandwich the vinyl records inside of record mailing insert pads, and also make sure you use record mailing boxes as well. Okay, so let's move on to number 2 on my list. Number two. Okay, so here's number 2. Always avoid grading your vinyl records incorrectly. Now, it's very important to know that, unlike selling other items online, especially used items, selling vinyl records requires a certain level of specificity when it comes to talking about the condition of the record itself, as well as the album jacket. Vinyl records and album covers are graded on a scale that ranges anywhere from mint or near mint condition to poor or fair condition. Now, if you're brand new to this, it can seem a little bit confusing. I actually made an entire video breaking down vinyl record grading. I'll make sure to link to it below in the description, just in case you haven't seen it and you want to check it out. But just know that when you sell vinyl records online, a customer is relying on your honest evaluation when it comes to the condition of a vinyl record or an album cover. So it's really imperative that you understand the vinyl grading system very well so that customers can purchase from you with a whole lot of confidence. Okay, so now it's time for number 3. Number three. Okay, so here's number 3. Avoid providing too little information when it comes to the records you're selling. Alright, so that might sound a little convoluted, so let me break it down, because it really depends on the platform on which you're selling your vinyl records on the internet. Now, if you're selling on eBay, for example, it's always a great idea to take high-quality images of the record itself, as well as front and back images of the album cover. The ultimate goal of the photos is to not only promote what you're selling, but to also show off any flaws that come with the record. So if you're selling a record that's warped, or if you're selling an album cover that has split seams or has ring wear, these are things that you're going to want to photograph and put on the auction. At the end of the day, you just want to be as transparent as possible. Now, selling on Discogs, however, is a little bit different. Buyers are far less concerned about the photos of the albums that you're selling. Instead, they are much more focused on your ability to be able to properly grade your records. Now, no matter what platform you ultimately choose to sell your vinyl records on, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're providing customers with all of the necessary information that they need in order to be able to make an informed purchase. This means not only including the name of the artist and the title of the album and the name of the record label, but also the catalog number as well. Alright, so now let's move on to number 4. Number 4. Okay, so here is number 4, which is the last one on my list. Avoid charging too much money for the records you're shipping to your customers. So if you're selling multiple records on a site like eBay or Discogs, and you really want to incentivize buyers to buy more records from you, one thing you can do is provide them with a discount when it comes to shipping multiple records. So for example, let's say you're selling multiple records online right now. And let's say you have a policy in place for when you ship a single LP, it always costs $5. Well, instead of charging $10 to ship 2 LPs and $15 to ship 3 LPs, you could provide a shipping discount if the buyer buys multiple records from you. So now, while it might still cost $5 to ship one record, if a buyer buys a second record from you, maybe you only charge an additional 50 cents. This way, a buyer has a higher interest in purchasing multiple records from you because they know it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg when the shipping numbers are added up. So that's about it, guys. Those are my 4 mistakes I suggest you always avoid when you're selling vinyl records online. Hopefully you liked this video and you found it to be helpful. And if you did, please hit that like button down below. I always appreciate it when you take the time out of your day to do that. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well if you want to be informed whenever a new video drops on this channel. And finally, here's the question I want to leave you with. Have you ever received a record in the mail that was really poorly packaged? Or have you ever received a record in the mail that was improperly graded? Make sure you sound off down below. I can't wait to hear what you have to say on this particular topic. And once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.